Yay, good morning, everybody. It is Julie Beamer with Club 1040 Facebook Live today. Gonna get the rest of the story, all the tiny fun tidbits that's happening around the world. I hope you guys are up and at 'em this morning. It's an early morning today. I'm gonna invite Madison, who is one of our major team helpers here at Club 1040 to come on and be with me. She's going to be asking me. There she is. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Yay. So before we start out, I just want to just give myself this thought. Loose lips sink ships. There's so many
What's
exciting things
what's that
happening.
from?
Yeah, somebody said it to us this week, and I thought I've got to remember that. Loose lips
I'm
sink ships.
It's from a world war.
Oh my, well, you know what? This is so good because there is so many things happening around the world, but there's so many exciting things. I feel like I'm like a jelly-filled donut that, you have to keep my lips sealed because there's so many exciting things happening. And God is
Mhm.
giving us so many open doors. There's so many people coming to know the Lord and the gospel. And we get to be part of it. In fact, yesterday
Yeah,
I was just so excited that we get to be part of what God is doing around the world. And it's
yeah.
it's so exciting. Oh, hi Elizabeth. Good morning, sweet girl. My Elizabeth. In fact, let me just mention this. We have been celebrating 30 years. Can you believe that I'm only 20 years old and I am celebrating
I'm
30
shocked.
30 years on the mission field, living and ministering in some of the funnest areas in the world. And what we did is we went down to Sweeter Studios and we did a live broadcast. And we just filmed and told stories after story after story, from Matt's and my stories to Jonathan and Elizabeth's stories to Michelle's story coming into the family. And we even had to pull Adeline out because she had a little bit of an accident. It was so much fun. I got to come and grab her out of one of the things. It was fun. She was part of our podcast. So um, I want this. There was one that was just recent, and it was about 30 years pioneering purpose and partnership. And
Mhm.
it almost makes me cry just thinking about it. Matt and I were literally listening to it, and I just started crying at the end of it. I was like, Lord, there's so much that has happened in the past, but so much that we've yet to do.
Yeah.
How
So,
does it feel being part of all of that, Madison?
it
You
feels
make it happen.
yeah. No, I'm really, really grateful, and one thing that we do and we say all the time that's super important is we always have our mission and our vision in front of us, right? So, like, Club
Yes.
1040 is a relational missionary movement reaching the unreached. So it's something that we're always pushing forward. So one thing that I appreciate is there's always, like, vision presented in front of us, and there's always a direction to go. So
Yeah.
looking back at the 30 years, it's been fun to see how that vision has been a continuation this whole time. It's like it's fun to see, oh, you guys were a relational missionary movement 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So it's been really cool to see the consistency throughout the
You know what
years.
I like about that word? It's relational. I mean,
Mhm.
literally 30 years of people. And,
Yeah,
it is about vision, but it's been about people all along the journey that have helped us. I mean, we've literally had partners that have been with us the entire 30 years, Madison.
yeah, yeah,
It really brings tears to my eyes because I think of every single person that gets behind us, and, it might be $10, it might be $100, it might be $1,000, but
yeah,
they have gotten behind us, and I literally feel like I am their representative, their ambassador. Not
yeah,
everybody wants to go. In fact, when I talk to people, they're like, "Thank you that I do not have to go and do what you do." And I'm like,
yeah,
thank you for letting me be your hands, your voice,
mhm,
to the world. Because you
yeah,
know me, I'm living my dreams. I am called to
yeah,
do this, and I
yeah,
love to do this for people. And when I get to do that, it's amazing. So I'm just so grateful for our partners that they have been behind us for 30 years. And more people are joining us because they see that there are 22 nations in
Yeah.
front of us. And they're like, we want to be part of this. And this will take us to the Beirut graduation that
Mhm.
we literally were just at. I want to talk so much about this, because I was thinking about it. You know me, I love to tell people about Jesus. I
Yep.
love to just do the one-on-one, but
Mhm.
literally strategically, the graduation is the highest level that we could ever do. I don't know whether you want to pull
Mhm.
that picture up, but
Yeah.
the graduation we had 70. Oh, I love this. Look at him. It just makes my heart so happy to see all of these walking. And there's Rafi. He was like, I'm carrying the Lebanese flag. He had to be the first one. But all of these students, 79 students receiving their first year ministry
Mhm.
certification at this ceremony. Look at, I just love those faces. Christelle, Pamela, Melissa, Joseph. I mean, all of these people are so precious to us. Um,
Yeah.
but the thing
I
is,
love to see
go ahead.
I love to see the relationship between you and all of them, right? So it's not just that you go in and there here are all these graduates, it's that you guys know them personally and you've invested in them personally. It's been a not just it's been a labor of love is, kind of what I see it too. Like you love those people, this country, the work that they're doing. It's not just coming in and being the leaders of the school. Like you guys really built the relationships, not only with donors and with partners and with high level leaders maybe in Lebanon, but each student, I bet you know their names, you know?
Well, I would love to say that I know each and every one in their story. You know me when I get there, I'm just
Yeah,
like trying to hug and kiss and love and find out
yeah.
every little story about them. But you know what I think is strategic is that these leaders are some of we always pray that God sends us the highest and the best, the
Mhm.
most effective people that will be able to get this gospel out the quickest. And when I
Yeah,
look at these students, they're Arabic speaking. Even if Matt and I and our teams learned Arabic, we would still not have the context and the stories and the understanding and everything to go into these 22 MENA nations that are Arabic speaking. But these students are Arabic speakers. They can literally go tomorrow to the next country and have that same mind, that same mentality, and they can literally, in fact, whenever you hear them preach these same messages, I literally could give them the notes. And God just has downloaded this revelation of the gospel in them in a way that I could never even communicate. Or
mhm,
Matt is amazing, and Matt and Julie Hadabot as amazing ministers of the gospel they are.
yeah,
When I hear the same message coming through Joseph, when I hear the same message coming through Christelle, it's like touched from heaven. It is
yeah,
amazing. So these are going to be the people that are going to go into these 22 MENA nations, Middle East, North Africa nations, and spread the gospel quicker and faster than I could ever do it. And so, literally, by you guys sending us to these nations to pioneer, upstart everything, then
yeah,
train these high level capacity leaders. I mean, it's literally doubling my work. I could go in and tell
yeah,
one person, but, it will not be as effective as if we go and tell these 79 students the gospel, teaching them, giving them just incredible teaching and knowledge, and then them going out to all their highways and byways. It's incredible.
yeah.
So let me just show you, this last graduation, you might want to show the picture of Matt and Julie Hadabaugh.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
They are
Part of the
amazing. Yeah.
part of what you do training, students, but you always also raise up leaders, and so this is a really good example of that.
This couple has been incredible, from day one. Well, they were there. We had prayed before we had gone into Lebanon that God would send us people that would go before us because we were still in Nigeria. And the Hadabas went in there, got on the ground, and just have been everything there. They've been amazing making the relationships. And Matt and I, we never try to make it about us. We try to point them into the
Mhm.
leader's direction, like Tokes and Akuna. Tokes was the face of everything. And so Matt and Julie Hadabaugh have been the major leaders. And Matt and that's what we're called to do, is go in, start things, turn it over, get to the next country.
Mhm.
And so this has been the fastest we've ever done it because we've had such high, just they're incredible. I mean, every single person that we've turned everything over has always been incredible. But Matt and Julie had a ball. We officially prayed over them. We turned the church over to them, I think 2023. And then
Yeah.
the school, we wanted to get it up, get it going for a year, get it, on its feet, and then turn it over to the Hadabas. So we officially did that. So it was awesome. Yay. So there's Taiwo and Abigail, John and Joan and Ife. So we've been always wanting, ever since we left the UK, we've always known that God has still plans. We feel like we're part of the UK anyways. But we've always wanted an office there. And so Taiwo and his family have been with us since the very beginning. Well, Taiwo has. He was with us in the UK. He went through our Bible school at the beginning. Then he moved to Nigeria with us to help us. And then now
Oh,
he's come back to the UK and we'll be starting a UK office. And so we were able to
yay!
spend some time with him. Yeah. He is such a high capacity person. He is helping us do all of our IT stuff.
Mhm.
He is amazing. But I took the kids to
Um,
Legoland and we had the best time at Legoland.
how many years did you guys live in the UK?
We were there for 14 years, I believe.
Wow.
And Jonathan was born in Liverpool, Elizabeth was born
Mhm.
in Manchester, and and sometimes I feel like that was just the start of our life. Where you have kids
Yeah,
are is kind of where you feel like, yeah, this is it.
yeah.
So, I'm
So,
not seeing
I
if people are joining. Is there a way that I can see if people are saying any questions or answers?
we can look and see if there are comments, but one thing that
No
you
questions.
there aren't any questions yet, but one thing that I asked you about is, kind of whenever you guys are in the UK, I always feel like as somebody who, works for you guys, I feel like you guys are always really, really at peace and at rest in the UK as well.
Yeah,
Um,
and you
tell me
asked us about this. We went on a lovely
Yeah,
walk. Oh my gosh, that was such a great day. Matt and I, we love to walk. We're walkers. Everywhere we go, we get out and we walk. It helps us to get rid of jet lag. In fact, I probably need to go out and walk today, but we went on a lovely hike. It was like a 6 mile up in Bolton Abbey. It was lovely. So we got to get a little bit of a rest. I think we had like 4 days of rest. And then we went to the Go Church Global Pastors. Um, you might want to show that picture, Global Pastors. So the Lord's all, we love church planting, we love churches. And this is the church that we started 30 years ago, Go Church Manchester. In fact, that's the Hadabahs. They were part of our time there in Manchester with the Go Church Global. And we all met together. It's so much funner to do things. Funner. It's funner. Is that a word? So much
could
funner
be.
to do things together. And so we had Go Church Bradford, Go Church Liverpool. There was churches from Middlesbrough, and there was churches from Denton, and then there was our Beirut. Some of our leaders came over from Beirut for Go Church Beirut, and we were able to come together for a time of learning. Our goal is to have churches. There's the group. Oh, I love all of them. They're so precious. There's Andrew and Candace Carter as well. Gilbert and Ciela came from Beirut. Matt and Julie had a ball. And Kenny from Bradford. The Post were there as well. So we all came together. It's so much fun to do things together. We had a night of goofy golf even, and then just planning on making more churches happen all throughout Beirut, all throughout the Middle East, throughout the UK. In fact, there's talks of Go churches being several different places. So it's kind of exciting what's happening there.
I'm grateful that it feels like, we're always surrounded with really good people, but that's on purpose. We're always, like you said, you're always asking the Lord to send you the very best, and He delivers in that area for sure.
So good. Let me just say hi to Judy. Judy Uyatake. She's like such a major helper here at the Club 1040 office. Good morning, Judy. We just appreciate you so
Mhm.
much. Thanks, Justin Moss. And then Chichi Amode from Nigeria is on. And Mr. Greg Wicks. We love Greg Wicks. He's such a
Greg.
blessing. Part of the Wicks family. all of our family are on. So say hi to me this morning if you have a question. So this is exciting news. It was somebody asked, "What is the exciting news?" And so this is the exciting news. Madison and I, little I, have been working on this curriculum. You know, every time we go to a church, people are always asking, you know, because you and I, we like to go in and do like a Sunday school, and we do a whole missions presentation when we go and minister. Matt goes into the adults and we go into the children. Oh, there they are. We bring all of our costumes, we bring the flags, and they always ask us, you know, do you have any missions curriculum that we could use? And, you know, missions curriculum tends to be just normal typical, but we've tried to do something new. In fact, we went up with Mark Harper, and Mark Harper helped us to write a curriculum and taught us how to do it. And then we added our Club 1040 flair with it. And we have produced with a lot, it's taken us how many years, Madison, to do this
So
4-week curriculum? Why has it taken us so long
but
to do
it was
this?
our first time too. So you think about it, like, we have been working really, really hard on this, and I don't think you even either knew how long, it took to write this, and there are things that if we went back and did it again, we'd probably do a little bit differently, but, you know, every time, even like you were talking about going to each country, you get faster every time, you learn things every time.
Mm.
So, even throughout this process, there are things that I've learned that and I think we've both learned, oh, we might do this a little bit differently. But again, we wanted to make sure that we were putting the best product out there for each church. Um,
You
if
know
I,
what my
I'm gonna
favorite
say
part is? You know what my
what?
favorite part is? The video. I mean, it took
Yeah,
me a long time because I had to wait till I was in country to do that, and that took a
yeah,
long time. But we did a video for me so I can actually talk to each of the kids and tell
yeah,
stories. And, you know, if I could come to every church and talk to every child, because I really feel like children's hearts, that's when the Lord speaks to them the most,
mhm,
is when they're children. And if I can get this missions heart into children, it will change their lives. And I know that it's so inside of me. The Lord started speaking to me when I was little, and I know that their hearts are open and receptive. And everybody needs a missions heart, whether you're called to go or not. But everybody needs a heart, because that's Great Commission is the church's whole function, isn't it? So if I can
yeah.
get people thinking about the rest of the world, I feel like I've done what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, and that's just exposure, right? So sometimes you think that the kids they get missed out, right? So you and Matt travel places and you're going to speak to, you know, the church where all the adults are, but what about the kids? So part of it is just exposure. Anybody that I'm around, if you're around me, you're going to hear about missions, right? You're just naturally exposed to it. If you've never been, you're going to know a few things about missions. And so even exposure is part of the key of this, is that here's a curriculum where you can at least begin exposing your kid. You know, you think about those kids who are obsessed with dinosaurs. Like
Yeah.
there's so many kids who know every single dinosaur and I don't know one. You know, so kids want to learn, they want to grasp that knowledge. It just has to be presented and available for them. And so that's what we kind of did here, is giving a tool for pastors and leaders and even homeschool you know, leaders to start introducing this concept to them for exposure, you know?
Judy said the kids love it. Her and I and you got to go trial it into some
Mhm.
of the churches, which was phenomenal. We even it was just so much fun seeing it actually take place.
Yeah.
So the curriculum, even Karen Jensen said, you know, this curriculum is so exciting. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for these churches to get it. Tell us the facts, Madison, because you know about ordering and how to order.
Yeah, so it's a 4-week lesson. It has tons of content. So I tell people all the time, we break each lesson down to a week, but there's so much content in here that you could do 1 week, one lesson, and you could break it up into a couple weeks, or you can pick and choose different things that you want to do. But there's 4 units, 4 lessons to the curriculum, and in that, we have a drama, a large group, a small group. We have the video of you. We have an activity page. What else in there? An object lesson. Like there's so much stuff in each one. And all of these things right now we're doing a pre-order. So from now until December 31st, you can pre-order this curriculum. And the exciting thing that we're doing is if you order it now to December 31st, we're going to do a drawing. We're going to draw 3 names, and those places, whether it's a church, whether it's an individual, we're going to sit down and have you record a special video. We'll talk with them and we'll have you record a special video to either their, children's church or their family or stuff like that. So they'll get a personal message from you for ordering the curriculum ahead of time, if they get to win the drawing. So we're really excited about that. But all of this, you guys can buy this curriculum. It's online now. At clinton40kids.com or any social media that we have. There's typically like a link tree in our bio. So if you just click on the link in our bio, it'll say Go Missions Curriculum. So
Yay. Good morning, Carol. Breeden, she's on here. She has a missions heart. I love her. Let me just say too that this is for homeschoolers as well.
yeah,
It coincides with each of my books, and a lot of people have taken my books for homeschools and their classes, and they've learned about that country. They found it on the map. They've learned about the language. They learned about the food. They learn about the currency. So there is
yeah,
so many opportunities to use this curriculum for homeschoolers and my books to go alongside it. Many people don't know in the back of my books, there are questions and answers,
yeah,
there's recipes, there's things for them to do. And so
yeah.
anybody that would really like to have something for their homeschoolers, this would be
Your
great.
heart has always been to engage and inform with them. And so we tell people all the time, there's tons of resources even in the back of the book. And I wanted to say too that each of these 4 weeks, the lessons, I want to tell people that the lessons are broken down. The first one is Go, which talks about is the baseline, the going into all the world. Then we have Power, which is talking about the superpower that you have inside of you. Connect is the 3rd week, and that's talking about connecting with different cultures. Every single day you are probably going to meet someone of a different culture. And so how can we use that to our benefit and connect in the way that Jesus would want us to? And then Send is the last one, which I think is perfectly fitting. Our manager here, Christy Wicks, her mom would always say, it cracks me up the first time she said it, but she said, here I am, Lord, send them. And I just thought it was so funny.
I love
And I
that.
always think about that. And so, if the kids can't go, I want them to still know that they have an aspect of going. They have something. And Willeen she volunteers here and she's a sender. You know what I mean? And that's extremely important. So the last lesson, Send, is really, really neat. It shows kids how they can send by serving in their local church, by giving, and by praying. And those 3 things are the key to sending missionaries. And eventually, I'm in America right now, but I'm sending by supporting in my local church, by giving, and by praying. And so I want them to also see that they can have a direct impact in missionaries' lives. So
I love that.
those are the 4
Well,
lessons.
as we finish, because I know I've chatted, I had a lot of coffee this morning, so I'm ready to go. I'm jet lagged, but on caffeine. We have a 2030 vision partner goal. In fact, we're getting ready to send out a vision magazine. And if you're not on our mailing list, definitely send us your address, because this vision magazine, I'm believing God that it's just going to put the heart of God inside of every person to see that, whether you're a goer or whether you're a sender, we're all part of this end time plan. Like we said at the beginning, we're on this last leg of God's plan. And I want every person, I literally want every person to participate in it and have a part in it. And, you don't have to go yourself. Send me, send me. I always put my little hand up with my emoji. Send me. I'll be your representative. And I'm a hard worker, and I know that God has ordained us and anointed us to go. So send us, be part of this end time plan. We love going into these security sensitive. In fact, Matt and my son are in a security place right now, and I was just there, and I got to talk with this beautiful young girl. She was covered in an abaya, abaya, completely covered. All I could see was her eyes, but yet I saw into her heart, and God immediately gave me that scripture about Hagar and how she called him the God that sees me. And
Mhm.
so I believe that God sees these people right now, and he's looking for people that will be able to participate and go tell them that he sees them so that they can
Yeah,
say, I see you, God. And I
yeah,
know she was so receptive to me. She was just like begging me, just wanting to have that relationship. And
yeah.
so you guys can be part of helping these people to
Mhm.
say, I see you, and help them to see God, just like Hagar.
Yeah.
So we have a 30 vision, 2030 vision, and we're believing God for 30 or is it 30 people, 300 new individuals to commit to partnership for this 2030 vision, 30 organizations and 300 individuals giving $30 per month. And it seems, small, but I know just you participating, just you know, gets to
Yeah.
participate. You might not think it's a lot, but to us it's significant. So the
Yeah.
2030 vision, everything's about 30 years. So you'll see 30, 300, 3,000, 30,000. Um, participate. Come send me. Come participate. And when you're sending me, you're not just sending me, you're sending a whole
Wow.
slew of people that are going on your behalf. And so there's teams in so many different countries right now happening, and we get to all be part of it. So I'm
Yeah.
believing God that our 2030 vision, we're going to see lots more people that get behind us to help
Mhm.
us to do what God's calling us to do.
Yeah.
And like
So
I said, we for you.
one of those ways that people can get behind you is through prayer. So we have some prayer points
Oh,
that
yes.
we want to tell everybody about.
Well, going in and out. Well, I need prayer for energy.
You
Pray
have
for
it.
Thank God. I keep on saying I can do all things through Christ. I have supernatural
Yes.
energy. But going into these security sensitive places, I do not like to be put in the box when you go into these countries. So keep me from the box by praying for me. But we need favor. And then also, we always pray for God sending us the very best the land has to offer.
Mhm.
Relationships are key. We are a relational missionary movement, and God brings us these key people that opens up thousands of people to
Mhm.
us. In fact, this last week, Matt was telling me a story. I have to keep my tight lips here, but literally, we were meeting people in a closed nation, and so many people. In fact, we'll be going back in April just to do some things there. So it's quite exciting. One of our people asked, which country are we going to now? I can't say right now, but the doors are opening in several of these different countries. So it's exciting to see what's happening. Pray for the students, that God brings us the best students, and praying for protection for the students that we do have, that we'll be able to go into these places, and that God will send us the very best the land has to offer.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to encourage too, the 30 years, like you said, just to kind of close it up right here. This last week, somebody called in and they wanted to, renew their giving. And it was a
Mhm.
person whose name I've been seeing. I've almost 4 years that I worked here now. And it's a person whose name that I've been seeing for 4 years. And so when she said her name, I said, oh, yes, like I know who you are. I know, the seed that you've sown into this organization. And so I just want to encourage everybody to not just through giving, but like we said at the beginning of this, the relational side is so important. And that's what pushes the gospel forward is that each partner and each person that's involved in our organization, When I first got here too, everybody said, "Oh, I know Matt and Julie. Oh, at one point I've volunteered, I've worked for them, I've done whatever." The reach is so large, but that's why we are a group of like-minded people. So I just encourage everybody, if you aren't a part of the club right now, to come and join us, whether it's through prayer, through giving, through volunteering, just, staying involved in what we're doing. There's a lot of things that we have in store for the next 5 years. And so we've had 30 years of incredible, exciting opportunities and activities, and you can learn all of that on the podcasts on the YouTube channel for Club 1040. But we also have a lot of things in store, and we want you guys to be a part of it too.
So good, Madison. I love that your heart is, you can see the amazingness that God sends us and has in our office, helping us to do what we do on the other side of the world. So, um,
Yeah.
everything, I hope you guys go through this video and just see all the amazing things that you're doing. I personally, want to say thank you. When I see your names come across the desk, I am just so grateful. And I might not be able to sit down and chat with you, but the Lord sees you. He sees what you're
Mhm.
doing to help us go and do what we're called to do. So I personally want to say a thank you from Matt and myself and all the Club 1040 teams around the world. You guys are doing significant things. So thank you for making this happen, as it says. We love you guys. And thanks for being with us today. And I hope to see you. If you ever see me anywhere, please stop and say hello. Send me a little love note on Facebook or on Instagram. Go check out our Club 1040 YouTube page and check out our stories. We love you guys. Bless you.